Last of 20 speed cameras installed in the Duke City here. Target 7 looks at the thousands of citations being issued. The city says it's installed its final speed camera, 20 cameras, now issuing citations at $100 apiece.
Our Target 7 investigation, we look at where that money is going and who's actually paying those fines.
These cameras have captured more than 146,000 people going more than 10 miles an hour over the speed limit.
It's showing us that it's a great tool to help getting these drivers to slow down, so that way they're not having to see us.
And every time someone goes 10 miles an hour over the speed limit, they get a citation in the mail, fining the registered owner of the vehicle $100. It must be paid within 90 days.
The whole program is based around safety. It's not to be a money-making item and keeping people's speeds down.
But not everyone is paying. According to data provided by the city, of those citations, 53% of the car owners have not paid their citations within that 90-day window.
Well, one, nobody's paying the citations. It looks like from the data, nobody cares, and so they're just not paying.
Darren White used to oversee a similar program 13 years ago when he was the city's public safety director. That program also included red light cameras. His administration ultimately scrapped the program after voters said they wanted it gone. And a study conducted by UNM did not support that it was reducing crashes.
There was a lot of sentiment from the public that it was just a money grab, that it wasn't really having the desired effect, which is reducing the number of crashes at red lights or reducing speeding.
So far under the new program, the city has collected more than $6 million from the people who have actually paid. That money has been divided 3 ways: the city, the state, and a Florida-based vendor who has provided the equipment. Each have received about $1.9 million.
Well, this is a program that we are seeing some really incredible drops in speed.
The city said no one was available to Target 7 to answer questions on camera. However, city spokesman Dan Mayfield called into KKOB's Bob Clark, saying they have seen as much as a 7.2% reduction in speeds overall at the camera locations.
Our goal is to remind people that they should slow down. You know, a 10% reduction in speed is a 41% reduction in fatality.
When the city relaunched the program last year, it said all of the proceeds would go to Vision Zero. That's a program launched in 2020 to reduce pedestrian and auto fatalities. The program has put in better crosswalks like this one along Louisiana and narrowed streets like 6 in downtown Albuquerque to reduce speed. However, so far not a dime of that $1.9 million that's been sent to the program been spent.
The city has a program for people to do community service instead of paying the fine. So far, about 1.1% of the people who have received a citation have chosen to do that. If you have tips for Target 7, call the tip line at 505-884-6347 or email newstips@KOAT.com.